So in the home tab, for example, there are different tabs and we will go by tab, that is home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, help. So this is the very basic session which I am going to tell you how we do the basic functions, basic shortcuts, and by step we get into deep. That is the conditional formatting, pivot, formulas, basic, advanced formulas, and then chart preparations. So, for example, I have prepared a very normal breakdown of marks and the name of the students here for a data table to show you the basic shortcuts. So, for example, this is the font theme and the size. So this is the very basic, everyone knows that we could change the theme from here. So this is in short, I will explain you in 5 minutes what it is, and then we will go further to see if you know this or not that way. So this is the fonts you could apply, font theme, and this is the font size. And so for example, there are your the icons, but the normally what you should do is use shortcuts, because these icons are very basic and you should know the shortcuts if you are working in an MNC or like for any big projects. So the first shortcut which I am going to tell you is Control B. So Control B is basically for bold. So for anything in bold, if you want to do, so you would do Control B. So I will show you the difference. For example, I select pin 2 and I do Control B. So you will see the difference. Here it is bold and here it is not bold. And if I want to do a bold, I will do again Control B and it is a bold. So that's the difference for Control B. You could do it from here also, and you could do it from the shortcut with the keyboard also. I would prefer you to do it from a shortcut. Then the second is Control, very basics one, Control C. I do a plus sign to say the next key what you have to type to. So don't get confused with a plus sign. Control C. So Control C together you have to press, and that's for copy. Then Control B, you have to continuous together press and do it as a paste. So normally you normally go and right click, and people do as right click and copy and then cut and then paste. So there are options that way in the right click option as well, but try to do it with a shortcut, that is Control C, Control V, and Control X is for cut. So how you could remember this shortcuts is, one second. So how could you remember this shortcuts is C is copy. So the word C starts with a copy. Then V is paste and then cut. You cut a tree, that is X. So X is cut and B is bold. So that way you could remember these three shortcuts. Okay. Then the next is what we are going to do is Control C, Control V, Control X we did. Then the next we did this bold one. Now the next is italic. So if you see, if I just go and click on this cell, they show you the shortcut also what you have to apply. So Control I. So Control I is a shortcut for italic. This is not much being used. So if you, there are major shortcuts which is being used. I will only highlight the shortcuts which are very important. And other shortcuts you could remember is good, but up to you, depends on you. So I will just correct the format once. Yeah. So the next is Control I, that is italic. So I will show you the difference what italic and a normal word would show. So for example, I do this as a Control I. If you see, it's italic, it's in italic format. And if I again do Control I, it's in the normal format. So that's the difference, and this is majorly being used in the, this is majorly being used in title of the project or title of the table or something that way. Then the next is Control U. So Control U is for underline. So I am not doing highlight to this because these are not that important shortcuts. I would only highlight the very important shortcuts. I will show you all the shortcuts, but the shortcuts which I will let you do for all the sessions with a practice session, with you will have to apply these shortcuts. So if you see, these shortcuts are majorly being used by everyone when they use Excel or in normally like a PowerPoint or MS Office anywhere or normally in computer. So and then we will apply borders. So for example, I click here, there are multiple options to borders and they show also how it will look. So if I do no borders, you see the difference, there is no border here. And if I select this and do all borders, it is the difference all borders. So also some people don't know how to select also the table. So you could just do a Control A to select full table. And if you are having difficulties in selecting it, press shift and down side arrows to select. Shift and downside arrows if you can't select with a keypad, or like you use a keypad if you can't use the cursors properly. So that's it for the first session. I also would say that you will also get an assignment, like I am just giving you a gist of 5 minutes how the session would look, and also you will get an assignment to do it, how it works and everything. So once you like think of an enrollment of doing this session, we give it at a very professional rate, and the classes and everything with the assignment after completion of classes with continuous, like I see a continuous improvement. Also, you could see a continuous improvement after doing an assignment, and I only charge it for the session and not for the full package one. So it's like you don't have to invest in full like you do in normal classes. You just have to invest for the specific session, and you will get to know you are giving an improvement or not that way. Thank you.